Ready? Hair's good? Cool.
Hi, I'm Chris here with Britt, and we are doing a comparison racket review today, and we're going to compare the V-Cores versus the Pure Aero. So we've got a Yonex and a Babolat battle going on here. I went with the 98s, and you did?
I am with the hundreds. So I strung up my hundreds, both of them in the same string setup. My string of choice, Vocal Cyclone, at 52 pounds.
I went with Headlinks Tour at 50 pounds, so a little bit lower. And I actually like both of these rackets a lot. I know you like both of those too. So this was a fun play test, no matter which racket we were hitting. Why don't you start us out from the baseline, give us a little bit of feedback on each one, and maybe if you have a preferred one from there.
Yeah, so I've got to hit with these both over the last couple of years, and from the baseline, I'm a very aggressive baseliner. I don't hit with a lot of spin, but both of these rackets have that great spin potential. I think the biggest difference for me on the baseline was that the V-Core offered me a little bit more power, a little bit higher launch angle, and maybe a little bit more spin, whereas I really liked that the Pure Aero offered me a little bit more control at times. I think that was with the string pattern, or the string spacing is a little bit tighter, and so with that I was able to go for a little bit more spin angles, maybe a little bit more higher risk shots.
I agree with you. It's funny to talk about a Pure Aero as being more of a precision racket, but in this case it is, and I think it comes down to that string spacing. With the V-Cores, I was getting great launch off the string bed, nice high loopy shots. If I really wanted to shape my forehand, topspin or backhand topspin, I felt like I was hitting a nastier topspin ball, heavy. It was jumping off the court more at my opponent. But with the Pure Aero, I was a little bit more accurate, and when I flattened out the ball, so maybe on an approach shot, I felt more dialed into my targets, and I could get enough spin when I wanted to get spin, and I got more control on the flat shots as well. So the winner for me from the baseline, I would say Pure Aero, just because I felt like I could play with the variety I want without missing. The V-Core, I tended to overhit when I missed a little bit. Let's go to the net on volleys. What did you think?
Yeah, well, I'll say my winner first between the two. It was really close, but I'm going to go V-Core just because I need that little bit extra power at times to put the ball away against you because you're so fast. But for volleys, for me, one thing I liked about the Pure Aero was how quick it felt, both on the baseline and then up at net. I just loved how quick I could get my racket in position when I was playing doubles. I just loved how fast that reflex volley was, and I loved I could use the spins to kind of create some angles or some touch shots. With the V-Core, I found myself with that power finishing a lot more points, punching the ball deep and kind of ending the ball that way, or ending the point that way. I think overall they both were pretty stable for me. I didn't really have any issues that way, and I really liked being up in net with both of them.
Yeah, me too. Tough for me to pick a winner. In fact, I can't pick a winner at net. Both offer me nice touch and feel. I can cut under the ball and get the spin that I want to hit my angle volleys and my little drop volleys that I like to hit a lot of. And they've both also got that easy power. So when the ball is up high, I can punch it away quickly. And also those sort of shoelace volleys when I'm coming in maybe off of a serve or an approach shot and the ball gets down at my feet. With both of these rackets, plenty of pop to help me get that volley back deep and then look to be more aggressive on the next volley. So at net, it's a tie. Love them both at net. I think they're great volleying rackets. Let's jump into serves. What did you think on the serve?
Yeah, so for me, this is a little interesting. I love the V-Core for first serves. I love the Pure Aero for second serves. The Pure Aero for me is one of my favorite second serving rackets. I like because I get that nice racket head speed. The ball's really kicking up out of my opponent's strike zone, and I was able to be really consistent with it throughout a match. With the V-Core, I loved the easy power I got on that first serve. I didn't have any arm fatigue, so I could really go after that first serve, use that power, and then also maybe a little bit of slice to take that ball, put it out wide, and make my opponent reach it.
So for me on serve, I'm not a huge server, and I usually hit spin on both the first and second serves. It's not actually unusual for my second serve to come in quicker than my first serve, just because I think I'm going for more spin on that one, and it just ends up being a faster serve in general. And because of that, the V-Core wins it on serve for me, just because it is the racket that gives me that margin over the net and gives me the spin to get the ball down into the box. So I love the Pure Aero 98. I think it is a dynamite serving racket. Great blend of power and spin and precision, but I felt like I was hitting a more effective serve with the V-Core, so I just had to tip my hat that way on serve. Let's get into your favorite shot, Britt, the return.
My favorite shot, the return, and now I'm actually going to pick my winner as the Pure Aero on this one, mostly because I loved to be very aggressive in my returns. I actually prefer to return over serve, so I love to really step in and take big cuts at the ball, and that's where that V-Core, kind of as you mentioned with ground strokes, gets me into a little bit of trouble. I could overhit and make it go a little bit longer, and so I was trying to dial my returns back in, and that's where the Pure Aero really shined, and I was really able to go after my return and be aggressive.
Yeah, for me with the V-Core, it's almost too much of a good thing, too much spin access, and it makes me just want to try and chase that spin, and I find I'm changing the style of my returns to fit the racket more than just playing naturally. And then with the Pure Aero, I felt like I could drive through the ball, still get ample spin to hit my angles. I felt like it worked a little bit better on my slice return on the backhand, which I use on the first serve return. But with the V-Core, super fun, but I feel a little bit more dialed in with the Pure Aero, and so that's the way I would go. Okay, overall, tell us which one you would play with.
So overall, I'm going to do one more thing that I haven't mentioned was feel for me, and that's a really important part of my game. And going back and forth, I loved both rackets from the different strokes that I was hitting, but for me, I really prefer the feel of the V-Core. Now, while this current Pure Aero is a little bit more comfortable and not as stiff as previous ones, I still find it a little bit stiffer feeling. The V-Core, I just feel a little bit more connected to the balls, and I've been playing with a Yonex racket for 10 years, so I just automatically find that to be more like home. So if I have to pick between the two, I'm going the V-Core 100.
Okay, for me, I'm going to go the other way. So I love the V-Core. I definitely feel like the frame itself has great feel in it. I can really feel it flexing and breathing at impact. But the Pure Aero is just a more precise racket, especially when I'm really looking to put the ball away. When I'm playing points, it's the racket I want in my hand. I feel the most confident with it. So for me, my winner is Pure Aero. You went V-Core. That's what we've got this one. Thank you so much for watching. For more information on these products or anything else tennis related, be sure to go to Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.